In this video, we're going to be calculating the total amount A. Again, A is like in the simple interest, but this time it's for compound interest. Now, compound interest earnings are calculated on the original amount plus accumulated interest. The principal, remember the principal is the amount borrowed or invested, increases each year based on the interest earned. Interest was the extra money you either had to pay the bank or the bank paid you for the use of the money. Now, to find the total amount, A, for compound interest, there's this formula, which again, you don't need to remember this formula. You just need to remember using your formula chart where to find it. Now, similar to simple interest, we have the same variables, A, P, R, and T, and they're going to be representing the same information. So A was the total amount, or the total account balance. P is the principal, the money you borrowed or invested. R is the rate of interest, the percent, which must be changed to decimal form. And T is the time in years, and if it's given to you in months, it needs to be divided by 12, that the money is borrowed or invested, also called the loan term. Now, one thing about the formula, you need to pay attention to the T. The T is not a big T, it's a little t up in the air, kind of. That's your exponent of T, not times the T, it's to an exponent of T, so be careful on that. Okay, so find the account balance A for each of the following situations. Number one, we have Trevor. He deposited $15,000 into a savings account that earns 3.5% compound interest, compounded annually. How much was the total balance A in the account at the end of the 3 years? So first I'm going to go through and highlight my important information. Since it's easiest to locate the rate, the percent, and the time, the years, that's what I'm going to go ahead and fill in first. So I have 3.5%, but remember your percent has to be a decimal, so move your decimal 2 places to the left, and that's going to give you 0.035, and the rate, or the time, sorry, is 3 years. That's good, it's ready, not months. And so then the amount deposited is the principal, so that's $15,000. Now I'm going to go ahead and take that information and substitute it into the compound formula. A, I don't know. The principal was $15,000. It has parentheses, so that goes next, and then a 1. That's always there. That's a permanent 1. Plus the rate in decimal form, so 0.035. Close the parentheses, and then remember the time is an exponent, so the exponent would be of 3. Now, on some calculators, you can type in this whole expression or equation, but if you're using just a plain regular calculator, you need to make sure you follow order of operations. Remember, order of operations is parentheses first, so you'll have to work this out, then you'll have to calculate with the exponent, and then you can finish the problem. You can't do straight from left to right. So let's go ahead and start working this out. So I'll bring down the A equals 15,000. I need to work out what's in my parentheses first, and when I do, I get 1.035 to the exponent of 3. Now here's the part I need to watch out for. The exponent comes next, and what that means is that number 1.035 multiplied by itself 3 times. So it would look like, let me bring this down, it would be 1.035 times 1.035 and 1 more. Now when I multiply everything out, I end up with a real big number, 16,630.768,125. But because money only goes to 2 numbers after the decimal place, We then look at the 8 to decide, do we leave it at 0.76 or do we change it to 0.77? Well, because it's higher than a 5, the A is going to be $16,630.77. So the total balance is $16,630.77. Number 2. So it says $1,800 is deposited into a savings account that earns 6% compound interest, compounded annually for 2 years. What is the total balance A at the end of the 2 years? I'm going to highlight my important information. 1,800, 6% compound interest, 2 years. What is the total balance A? All right, so I'm going to then fill in my variables. The R would be the percent, so that's going to be 6%, but change it to a decimal, 2 places to the left, 0.06. The time is years, so 2 years. And the 1,800 is deposited, that's the principal. Okay, and this we don't know, we're going to figure that out. So I'm going to take those values and substitute it into A equals P times the quantity 1 plus R to the exponent of T. And so from here, remember, order of operations, parentheses will go first, but I'm going to bring down everything else on the left of it. And when I add 1 plus 0.06, I get 1.06. Bring down the exponent of 2. Now the next thing I need to do is my exponent. Exponent of 2 means take the 1.06 and multiply it out 2 times. So that's what it would look like. And when you multiply all of that out, you end up with a total balance of $2,022.48. This one didn't have all these digits after the decimal. There's only 2 numbers after the decimal. No rounding needed. That means we're finished. I hope you understand all of these steps. If you need help, remember, just let me know.